Genesis 45 and 10. You got it, Gerard. Genesis 45 and 10.
And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen.
Moses said, even though we're Egypt, I want all y'all to live in one area. Y'all going to live in the land of Goshen.
And thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children.
You'll be near to me, thou and thy children, our children's children. Now, I don't want you living in Egypt. I want you to live in a separate place outside of Egypt. Because this is how you're going to be empowered. You're going to be empowered because you live in a separate place outside. And I want you to understand this, why we live scattered. This is a big problem, is that when people buy now and they buy property, they don't buy collectively. And so they have no power in the areas that they live. Okay, so say for instance, if we got a piece of property and there's a few saints live there, a few saints live there, and a few saints live there, and a few saints live there. Some live in Bartow, some live in Lakeland, some live in Tampa, some live in Plant City. They strip their power by living separate. And they have no authority in the one area that they live because they haven't concentrated on the area that they live in. So Moses said, Joseph said, I want all of y'all living in one area, everybody. What it says, read it again.
And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children.
I want all your children
and thy children's children.
Listen, hold on. I want all your children living close to me. I want all of them living close. Now, people used to buy like that to take over the area so they can have a dominant voice in the area they're living in. That was once this whole area one time was an area of racism. They didn't want even black people even walking on the streets. But once people started buying it, then they drove out the inhabitants that were thereof, and then they began to dominate it. So Moses said, I want y'all to concentrate on everybody moving in the same area. That's the first thing that we have to do. First thing. We seem to move out of the area where we have neighborhoods. And everybody living scattered, and then we're mistreated in the neighborhood that we're living in because we don't have a voice. So the first thing in building Goshen is to get everybody to move to one particular area so that they can rule and have a say-so in that area. Because now it's an area that we can control because the majority of us are living in one area. If everybody in Winter Haven, or everybody in Polk County decided they were going to move to Winter Haven, whether all Hispanics, all blacks, all whites, all whatever, they say they're going to move to one particular area, whoever moves that particular area, they dominate that area. Say, just imagine that all of the saints going to live, we're going to move and buy houses in Inwood. If every member, first of all, it's going to help us with two or three things. It's going to save us because our church is here. It'll save us because all of our food is here. And notice what Joshua said, Joe said, he said, y'all going to be near. I want y'all near me. Something break out. Police got all kinds of disturbances. They're not going to just come in that neighborhood in the kind of way because they know it's dominated by the citizens of that neighborhood. So if all of us as saints brought property here, and then now when you buy property, you create your businesses in that property, it's less gas because we don't have to travel to Egypt to go get what we need. All of our stuff is self-sufficient here, and whatever affects over here really don't affect us because we haven't created our own economy. Now Joseph did something good for Egypt. He had saved Egypt from an economic disaster by telling them to save up 7 years and for the famine. And so because he had protected the wealth of Egypt, he knew how to protect the wealth for his family. So he said, everybody consecrate to one area. Everybody move in one particular area. Everybody follow me? That makes sense? All right, read.
And thy flocks,
yes,
and thy herds, and all that thou hast.
I want you to take all your flocks and your herds and everything that you got and invest it in one area. Put it all in one area. Everything in that central area where you're moving. Read.
And there will I nourish thee.
And if you can do that, you can be nourished. You can be built up. You can become stronger because everybody's in one area. You can become economically sound because everybody's in one area. All right, read.
For yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brethren Benjamin, that is my mouth that speaketh unto you.
All right, go with me quickly. I want you to go down to the 46th chapter and the 28th verse. (46:28).
And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph, to direct his face unto Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot, and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen, and presented himself unto him.
Yes.
And fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thy face, because thou art yet alive.
Verse 34.
That ye shall say, Thy servant's trade has been about cattle.
Now let's deal with this word trade. This is what has messed us up a lot in our day and time now. Because people didn't used to say, learn a career, they said, learn a trade. We don't have enough people with trades. Brother Bam has a trade. And what that trade does is I trade dollars for my hand. Trades are in the hands. Trades are in the people, but the people gain wealth through their trade, through their hands. So give you an example of that. Just by Brother Bam's hands, because he learned a trade, he can gain several dollars by his hands. I'm not talking about working. Working is what you get from a job, but a trade is what you get that your bare hands can make you money. That your hands become money. Whatever you learn, give you an example. If it's costing $3 a block for a trade, how many ever blocks Brother Bam can lay with his hand, he get $3 for no material, nothing he's selling, he getting it out of this. Old folk know trade, carpentry. So what? My hand becomes money. It just needs to be converted into dollars. My hand itself is a trade. It becomes money. And whatever I do with my hand, it produces money. So I'm not selling anything. My hands are being rented out to make me money. How many bricks can you lay a day? How much of wood could you cut? So he says, your servants, we got a trade. All right, read.
Have been about cattle from our youth even until now.
We do cattle. Now, what's hurting us now is that people don't have trades. And when you don't have trades, other individuals put a price tag on you. They tell you what they're going to work on. But when you got a trade, you set your own price for whatever you do with the labor of your hands. So Joseph said, let all our brothers stay over here. We got trades. These are our trades. Read. We're into cattle. Read.
Both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
All right, so let me show you what's happening. Joseph has a group over here, his family. His family learned a family trade. That trade that he learned, they got all their business and their cattle over here, and the Egyptians are over here. Let me tell you what happens if we don't create neighborhoods and why you won't pay the same thing. So say this is a predominantly white neighborhood, and they got all the stores over here. They got Publix, they got the mall, they got all this. All this is in their neighborhood there. Anyone in that neighborhood get ready to go shop, they go walking distance and go pick up what they want. They go walking distance. So it causes them no gas to go get what they're doing. But if I live over here in my own neighborhood and I want to go into a decent store or restaurant, I got to drive 10 miles or 5 miles to get there, which means every time I go, I pay $5 going and $5 going back. So if I got some grocery that costs $50 over there, that grocery cost me $60. Why? The price that I paid because I didn't have it in my neighborhood. So eventually we wonder why there's this imbalance in the community with black communities and white communities, even though we can make the same money. We make the same money, but we don't pay the same price because I have to pay $10 more to go shopping than you do when you're in your own neighborhood. Think about it right now. What black neighborhood did you know, a predominantly black neighborhood, that has a Publix right in the center of it? Don't find one. What black neighborhood you know that have a mall right in the center of the black neighborhood that's within a few feet away? You don't know it. You don't see it. So all of the businesses are built in neighborhoods where these people have access to it, where we don't. So we pay an additional $5 going and $5 coming back on all of our goods. That's on restaurants, for everything we pay for. Now, that also wastes time because it's going to take me 10 minutes to go somewhere, which is taken from my time, 10 minutes to go back, which is taken from my time. So economically, I'm losing time and money when I go shop. So Joseph said, let me set y'all up first so that we can be secure. And so the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to go get our own land. We're going to have all our trades and everything we need, we're going to put right there in the city. So that's why it's important as a church to build Goshens in the city. And now this is another thing that's going to happen, and it's important to understand. Okay? Today, and people are wondering what happened. And I want you to see what America did, at least Florida. Highway 17 ran all the way from the tip top of Florida to the bottom of Florida, and it ran dead center through the black neighborhood. Now, slavery and hard labor and desegregation, it set us up real good when they decided to desegregate. And what sets us, when they were segregated, it set us up good because they made sure that the train ran right through the center of the black community. Why? Why was that running in the center of the black community? I know why. The workers lived there. We did a lot of work. So that's why you look on one side of the train track, it looks really bad. On the other side of the train track, it looked really good because the black people who worked on this side of the train track, they would have to unload the trains and all that for the people who lived on that side of the train track. Then roads, major roads, also start building up in those same areas. So you got a train track and a main road. You watch any neighborhood that you watch, black neighborhood that you watch. Now, black folks start buying property on both sides of the track. But you watch any neighborhood you go in, there's a main road that ain't far from that track. Because they got to go to the track to get their trucks to get stuff out. Well, during segregation time, black people start building businesses in their areas. Wherever that highway ran between their areas, they start building business. And the people in those communities start buying from their own communities. America was never economically segregated. It was socially segregated, not economically, and I'll show what I mean. There has never been a total segregation in America, never. Don't believe that lie. It has never been there's been a social segregation because you could eat at the restaurant, but you couldn't work at the restaurant. So there was a social segregation. Because I still was able to go and buy at the store. I had to buy from the back door, I was still able to get the products, which was good for the white owner. Why? Because if I make the black people buy the food, they're still paying the same price, but I don't have to hire as many waitresses because they're getting theirs to go. I don't have to clean as many dishes, so they're getting theirs to go. So I'm still getting black businesses, right? But I'm only serving white people socially. So guess what happens? When black people start supporting their own businesses and they were getting treated bad and they created their own restaurants and stopped going there, now this is the thing that was going on. In the kitchen, I'm going to show you it wasn't segregated, in the kitchen were black cooks, black dishwashers. That ain't segregation to me. That's partial segregation. That's social segregation, but not economic segregation. And so white people prospered in segregation because they were able to get the benefits of the economics and keep the social aspect out. But what happens? When now black people decided, let's support our own business and we won't go to the white business to shop anymore because they're not treating us fair, it cuts 50% of their income off, and that income starts going back here, right? And then if these black workers decided, I'm not working anymore because you're not treating me right, the black workers and the black dollars go back in the neighborhood. This essentially will cripple those businesses because the people were used to black cooks, they had black dishwashers, and the black people had nowhere to go to eat. So when segregation was not released because people felt good about black people and said, let's fellowship together. No, they were forced to. Because if the workers, I tell you right now, if every worker in America, black, said today, I call for this thing I call a black rapture. And it's combining whites and blacks who are unified together. This is how we're going to get this. This is really how we're going to have to get this. And I'm pushing for this. I'm going to call for this. That's why Martin Luther King got killed. Martin Luther King was marching and everything else, but when he had that Poor People's Campaign, that's when they killed him. And they have nothing to do with when he said that, because now you work at the power. People don't mind you watching. They don't mind you marching. If I got right now in Polk County, I could shut Polk County down. If I got every black man, every Mexican, every minority to say, you know what, we're not going to work for 2 weeks, I'll shut this whole county down. But we won't unify. That's going to be my goal this year, nationwide. We're going to start in Polk County because that's the only way you're going to fight back. And if the whole country, we'll shut it down. Everybody going to strike. Now, we may have to suffer a little bit, but if everybody in Polk County said we're going to shut down, ain't nothing they can do because they're making the dollars off of us. An economic plan for the church has to be, here you go, all of these people say we're not working for you no more, and we're not buying our food no more. And these businesses start to cripple. You go down there to the Chinese people, who the most people eating the crabs? Us. Who the people serving? Us. Who the people cooking? Us. Shut it down. Nobody go to work. Nobody buy. Shut it down. So our economic plan in the Church of God Bible is not to shut in our church plan ain't to shut you down. I think we ought to have a community plan to shut some of this stuff down. We could overwork that White House right now. You ain't got to get no gun. You ain't got to do nothing. You can overwork it. Just stop going to work. But the thing is, people haven't built themselves economically enough to do it. But we'll be able to stand off because you need me and I need you. You need me to work just as much as I need to go to work. So we'll have a standoff, all right? You don't want me, we won't go to work. We'll have a standoff. Because if I don't eat, you ain't gonna eat. If you may get hungry later. But if them people don't keep, if you can't have no food for the people to cook in the restaurant, they ain't gonna eat. And if I ain't showing up to work, you ain't got nobody cooking, so you gonna go hungry too. Their wealth is connected to us. This county's wealth is connected to us. You want to make me hungry? I'll make you hungry. I won't work. You won't eat either. Both of us won't eat. Now somebody about to do something, you ain't gonna eat. When black people understood the power they had, just when they understood what was going on, just when they understood, hey, they started building people things like Wall Street. Businesses start, just when that starts happening, they say, let's desegregate. For what reason? Now, I'm not saying we segregate. I'm saying we build businesses in our own community and people choose where they want to go shop. Now watch. America had trained its slave owners, you don't have to know how to cook. You don't have to know how to clean. So America developed a dependency on the slave. And the slave didn't even know it. When slavery ended, farms went out of business. When slavery ended, people economically went down. And segregation, black people started saying, let's come back over here. Let's build our communities up. Let's build our business up. Ku Klux Klan saw it. We'll stand to ourselves, but if I'm going to go in your neighborhood, we ain't about, I'm not over here. They start burning stuff down because they needed to make a force for us to go back and shop somewhere else. That's what Goshen was about. God created an area where they could be self-supported. Now, this is what you do. Now, if all of my cooks and my food people went over here, my trade people went over there, the big economy, the bigger group, has to buy from the smaller group. So if the bigger group start buying from the smaller group, what do you think is going to happen? The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. The wealth of this larger group start flowing in. I'll give it to you like this. And this is how we change the condition. You take this. It's the big circle. It's the small circle. They got products and businesses. All right? As long as we're buying, our dollars are flowing in there. That makes our circle smaller and smaller and smaller because our economics are going here. But when we get products and business over here, we grow internally because the people in this neighborhood support it. The circle is growing. And then we grow externally because these people are buying from us as well, and the circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It becomes a source. So each community, this is why the Jim and Henry grocery store, that's one of the first parts of our building. That's Goshen. And why? Let's get the thing that we all spend and we do a lot. We're doing it as a church too. So now, let's do this. Here's our little Jim and Henry grocery store. A small Jim and Henry grocery. But now all of us are buying from our store. Everybody buying from our store. Now you understand wholesale. When you deal with wholesale, I can buy a bag of chips. I can buy 24 bags of chips for $10. Just say I brought 24 bags for $10. That's 24 bags. But I can sell the bags of chips for $1 a piece. And the only reason I'm buying wholesale because the more I buy, the cheaper I get. So if we start buying wholesale. First, that's our first plan. We're going to buy wholesale from companies that are bigger than us, and we sell it at retail, and we make the money from the retail, and then we make enough money in the retail that now we eliminate buying chips from somebody else. Once we make our big profits from selling at retail, we take that now and buy our own chip company. Now we're not buying from retail. We're producing ourselves, and we create our own supply. All right? So, say for instance now, we're buying candy. Candy is $50 for 100. We're going to buy from the wholesaler and sell enough for it until we get enough in retail, and now we're going to start our own candy company. Now, each of these companies are owned by people that we're buying from them from wholesale, and they're producing. So we got to become producers of the product, and once we become producers of the product, we're not dependent upon other people to make the product. We get the product and the producers. Now, what is that going to do? We create our own product, and we get our own producers. Now we're able to employ our own people to make our own product, and we sell to other people. So let me just show you this. That's what Goshen is about. Everybody with me? That makes sense? So this is what Goshen is about. So what have I been asking all the saints to do? Grow greens. Get a garden in your yard, because this is how we're going to do. Here's your garden. See how you got greens? You got tomatoes. You got onions. You got celery. Our grocery store is going to buy from you wholesale. So if you got some greens, Sister Lydia, we're going to sell, Sister Lydia, how much greens you got? All right. I'm going to buy $200 worth of greens, and you're going to give me out of that $200 worth of greens, I can get 300 bunches. I'm giving you $200 from your greens guaranteed. I'm bringing the profit in here, that the greens that I brought, and I'm going to continue to buy my greens from you, from individuals. So what does it look like you now got another $300 going in a month from me buying from you? So you're going to make money from me buying from the store. And you got tomatoes, and you the tomato man. So we're going to buy our tomatoes wholesale from you from your house. So if you got a backyard, instead of having a grass and a patio, get something that make money. Your whole backyard is full of greens, I'm buying greens from you. Yours is full of tomatoes, I'm buying tomatoes from you. Yours is full of celery, I'm buying celery from you. Buying it from you wholesale, selling it in our store retail, that each member who has a garden is making money from the store, and the store is selling your products. And then let's say we got a mother who know how to make good cookies. We get a good wrap for her cookies, and we take those cookies that she got, go in my office and get that hot sauce from Brother Reno. So I'm getting everybody to understand what I'm trying to do. So our wholesalers will be members. We won't have wholesalers from this big company. Our wholesale from greens will be you. Our wholesale for tomatoes will be you. Our wholesale for mangoes is Elder Bishop Williams. We'll buy all our mangoes from him wholesale and sell them resale. And the stores making the money and the individuals are being built from their wealth. So if a saint of God has 10 acres of land, and then what we're doing, each district, we start building these little stores. And they start doing the same concept. Now, members got a big enough yard, they ain't got to go work for nobody. Just go out yard, keep your garden watered. We got 50 stores all over, see, and we already started. This is El Reno's hot sauce. He already got it packaged. Get all of them. He's got some more in there. Get all of them. How about we buying them from our shelves and they sitting in our store? Now, Reno is getting money because we're buying them from him wholesale, and the store is selling it retail. That's Goshen. That's Goshen. Let the wealth of the wicked take care of us. So here goes Sister Lydia, got 2 acres of land in the back. She's supplying greens for all of our stores in Polk County. Lydia's getting a check every month from all of the stores that we got buying. We got somebody who got cattle One brother, all he's responsible for, he raises cattle. We buy cattle wholesale from him, sell it retail. So we're not going to these big companies. We're going to members of the church. That's Goshen. Everybody understand? And guess where your job will be? Your backyard. Guess where your job will be? Your kitchen. See his products? That's Reno right there. Imagine them on the shelf. And to get us away from traditional brand, we got our own brand, everything in our store. April, and all those saints that make banana pudding. I mean, April, Keisha, all them. Every week they make something. We put it in the store. We're buying our products from them wholesale. That's all I'm telling people to do. We got people who make peanuts, Posh peanuts. We have them in the store. Buy the peanuts. Come here, you make them. Buy the peanuts. That's all. If we get that concept, we can strip the economy from robbing us, and it comes to us. Any questions? That's what Goshen was about. Everybody with me? We got these sisters that sew clothes. They sew. All these things. We got sisters in here that got hair products. All the hair products they got, our products will be in the store. So all you doing, you manufacture the stuff in your house, we get it approved, we go get it, and guess what? Every morning you get up, Sierra, you go out in the backyard, I send a truck over there from the store. We're going back, all Sierra got to do is go in the backyard. They go 50 bunches of greens for the church of the store in Winter Haven, 50 bunches of greens for the church in Tampa, 50 bunches of greens for there. Here go your check, Sierra, right there for the wholesale price, and sell them in the church. Sell them in the, everybody get me? Y'all got what I'm trying to do? That's Goshen. Yes, ma'am. Give Sierra a mic.
Mom and pop like grocery stores.
Yeah.
You don't see big brands. You're going to see stuff like that, local stuff on their shelves.
Yeah.
So they support their local people.
That's what we're trying to do. Amen. Any question? Anybody got any questions? That's Goshen. Amen. I'm going to be talking about this national black rapture. I call it the black rapture, but it's a minority rapture. I'm going to name it the minority rapture. And that minority rapture means that we just don't show up for work. A whole week. Don't go to work. Everybody don't show up. And then this was my plan. This was my plan to do. This is what I was going to do. I can't get enough people to get on it, but we got to spread the message. And I'm going around in the country this year. I got a lot of visitation. I'm doing spreading. I'm going to set a date to do it. What I would call upon, we get a park, and all minority businesses and any other business want to come. All minorities business, rent that park out and get all their businesses and put them up. All the minority business, and that day we're going to say that week we're not shopping anywhere else but at these minority businesses. Nobody's going to work. Everybody's staying home from work. And for 1 week, everybody's going to shop at those areas to build in that economy. Imagine if everybody at the courthouse stopped going to the courthouse working, the judges and all, black judges, black lawyers, Hispanic judges, Hispanic lawyers, whites that are for the cause, they stop. Imagine restaurant. Imagine what it's going to be to get a call that morning from the courthouse. I won't be in today. From the city bus, I won't be in today. From the truckers that drive trucks, I won't be in today. From the restaurants that come and cook, I won't be in today. Imagine what an impact that'll have. We got power, we just don't know how to use it. If we ever unify and get together, boy, we can get some demands met. Tell them they're going to tell you what they're going to do. Say, we ain't coming back until you make some change. Now you make some change, we'll go to work. The poor people is the one that got this operation going on, not the rich folk. The rich folk just up there telling us what to do. The poor people are the one that got it going on. We're the one that's in charge. They're dependent upon us. But we're so begging for these crumbs that they got and begging for this little money. We feel like if they don't work, man, I ain't gonna eat. That's why we get our own. We'll be in a position when we have our own stores and our own food. So what, you cut off food stamps? That's what's happening. We got these trade wars going on now. We got to do something internally. And then, see, when we got our own products here locally, we ain't got to go outside to get out. They here. So where hot sauce over there may cost you $10 now because it's imported. Ours don't cost you but $3, and ours is made from home products out of our yard. I ain't getting no bell peppers from Mexico. So Mexico charge you $4 for a bell pepper. Mine's still $1 because mine's getting out of the ground. They didn't have to ship mine over. I got mine from God. It was shipped out to earth. There's no turf on the earth. There's no charge on the earth. There's no taxes on the earth. So we already got my bunch of greens didn't come from made from Guatemala. Mine made from that sand out there. Amen. Y'all with me? God bless you. God bless you. And you all that are listening, you can inbox us on buying this product from Brother Reno. This is the hot honey sauce. I haven't tried it yet. I'll be trying it today. Scotch bonnet habanero. What is it? Habanero. Carrot cake. It's a carrot cake hot sauce. It looks like it's hot, though. And this is Reno's Pearl. It's Pearl something. Or try it. It'll be like fire shut up in your bone. Amen. All right. God bless you. Thank you. You can take me off.